Hello students, good morning everyone. Welcome to you all here. Today we are going to see what is meant by equilibrium of bodies. So what is by equilibrium? Before that, in previous all lectures, what we have seen the concept of moment of force, what is by couple and moment of couple. Now next concept is equilibrium of bodies. Now, what is meant by equilibrium? Here we are going to see the definition of equilibrium first. Equilibrium means when a body remain in a state of rest or in a state of uniform motion. That motion can be translation or rotation. When certain forces are applied on body, it means that when a certain forces applies on body, in spite of that forces, body must remain in state of rest or body must remain in state of uniform motion. Are you getting this? Means when a forces applies on body will not change its state. That may be a rest condition or that may be a motion condition. That motion can be translation, rotation. This must not be happen to the body when a forces applies on body. Now there are two kinds of equilibrium. When a body remain in a state of rest, that can be taken under static equilibrium, and when a body remain in a state of uniform motion, that can be taken under dynamic equilibrium. These are the two kinds of equilibrium here. Now next we are going to see what is meant by static equilibrium. So now in case of static equilibrium, body remain in a state of rest condition. Body remain in a state of rest condition under several forces. Now many examples under that. Now we will take first example. Let us say there is a book. Let us say there is one book lying on a tabletop. There is one book lying on a tabletop. This tabletop taken as a fixed surface and book lying on table. Now in such a situation, check that how many forces applies on a body. How many forces applies on body. So very first force applies on body, that is a self weight of that book. I can show it like this. Can be taken as W, which is equal to mg, self weight of a book. And second force we will get on a book, that is the normal reaction applied by table surface, denoted by N. So these two forces applies on body. So you can say here are two forces under several forces, means these two forces applies on body, and still that book in a state of rest. So this condition of a book which lying on table, this condition can be taken as equilibrium. Can be taken as equilibrium condition. Getting this? Now take another similar example. That let us say there is a road, and on road surface there is a vehicle. There is one car. You can say there is one car. I am drawing a car here. There is one car, and let us take example that self weight of car W, which is equal to mg, applying in downward direction. Second, this road surface applies normal reaction at a point of contact at the tires, and these are the normal forces, weight and normal reactions. Now let us say 2-3 men applying force from back side to the car. Let us take that force is 1000 Newton. How much? 1000 Newton they are applying, and another man applying same force from the front, about same magnitude, 1000 Newton. Now in this case, how many forces applied on body? Self weight of body applied, self weight of a car. Second, normal reactions applying upward direction, horizontally toward right, 1000 Newton applied by some man, and opposite force 1000 also applied by another man. It means that there are several forces applied on body, but still but still body will remain in a rest. Body will remain in a rest means this car will remain at rest condition. Why it will remain at rest and how it will remain at rest? Because all these forces taken first, vertical force W, which actually balanced by this normal reaction, and whatever force 1000 Newton applied horizontal toward right, which is balanced by opposite 1000 Newton. It means all the forces applied on the body, they will cancel each other. You can see they will cancel each other, or they will balance each other. That's why the body remain in a state of rest or remain in a state of static condition, and that is nothing but static equilibrium. Now take another example under static equilibrium. That another best example is beam balance. What is that? Beam balance. Everybody knows beam balance. Now in case of beam balance, what is the construction of beam balance? Beam balance consists of horizontal beam, that may be a steel plate, which is pivoted at middle, and at the end there are two pan for to carry some mass or to carry some weight. So in a beam balance we measure mass, and when it is pivoted at middle, at first pan, let us say at right pan, there is a 2 kg mass we put, reference mass of 2 kg we put, and in left pan similar 2 kg we got. Is it right? It is a basic principle of a beam balance, that when at right pan something amount of mass is taken, at left pan same amount of mass will be there when the beam balance will be in balanced condition. Now in that case what will happen actually? In that case, due to this 2 kg, some weight W, let us say W1 applied here, and some weight W, let us say W2 applied at left pan, and whenever both are 2 kg means W1 will be equal to W2. Weight applied on both the pan will be same, and in that case about the pivot this W1 try to produce clockwise moment. Come to the concept of moment here. This W1 try to produce clockwise moment, and this W2 try to produce anti-clockwise moment, and both the moments will be same. That's why the beam balance remain in a state of rest or remain in static equilibrium, remain in horizontal position. Why? Because whatever the clockwise moment applied by force W1 is balanced by anti-clockwise moment applied by force W2, and W1 and W2 both are equal. That's why beam balance remain in the static condition, and this is the case of static equilibrium. This case we will going to see further in detail under the principle of moment. Now next we are going to see, these are the examples we have taken: book lying on table, beam balance, car standing on road. Okay. Now next is dynamic equilibrium. Now what is meant by dynamic equilibrium? Dynamic means state of motion of a body. So under dynamic equilibrium we are going to see when a body remain in a state of motion, and this motion, keep it in mind that this motion should be uniform. This motion should be uniform means what? When only the body state is in uniform motion, then you can say no net force applies on body. When a body is in uniform motion means no net force applies on body. You know Newton's second law, F is equal to ma. Is it right? Everybody knows Newton's second law, F is equal to ma. So if you say acceleration will be 0, that force applies on body will be 0, and acceleration 0 means body moves with uniform speed. Body moves with uniform speed. Is it right? So when a body moves with uniform speed, acceleration of body will be 0. And when acceleration 0 means no net force applies on body. No net force applies on body. There may be a several forces acting. There may be a several forces acting. That can be the case. But net force acting on body will be 0. So what are the several forces that we are going to see with some examples? Let us take first example, that aeroplane at height. Aeroplane at height moving with some speed. So let us say the aeroplane, I can draw here. Okay. Let us say the aeroplane that moving toward left. Okay. Now in that case, what will happen? For the front motion toward left, aeroplane applies force at back, means you can say it as a thrust. So that is taken as a F1. At same time, due to air, some resistance happen for the aeroplane that will be applied toward front. Let us say this force F2. At same time, another force applies on body, that is its self weight, common force W. Okay, and check here, and that W balanced by which force? Will be upward force taken as a upthrust. Is it right? So you can say this upthrust applies on plane, balanced by weight W, and this F1 thrust force applies by the gas turbine of that plane, balanced by force F2. So in that case, you can say this F1 force equal to force F2, and this weight W equal to upthrust. Let us take it as a N, normal upthrust N. Okay. So when these several forces, when these 4 forces applied on a plane, still the plane is in uniform motion. Because these forces are balancing each other. That is the case known as dynamic equilibrium. Getting this? Now see another example. When a raindrop reaches to earth with constant velocity. So when a raindrop reaches to earth with constant velocity means what? In a raindrop, what are the forces acting on? That may be, so let us say a raindrop. Okay. So first force will be a weight, which is equal to mg. Is it right? And second force is drag force. Which applied by air. When it moving through the air. Is it right? So now in that case, let us say that drag force denoted as N. In that case, when that weight will be equal to drag force N, this raindrop will travel downward with uniform speed. Or uniform velocity, or you can say constant speed. This is the case when weight and drag force will be equal. In that case, this raindrop will travel with constant speed because no net force acting on the raindrop and that is the case we known as a dynamic equilibrium. That is the case we known as a dynamic equilibrium. Now see another example, most important example, uniform circular motion of a stone attached to string. Uniform circular motion of a stone attached to string. Now everybody knows that during uniform circular motion, we have taken one example when there is a string which is fixed at middle and the stone attached at the end, and when this string rotate, when this string we made to revolve, so this is what uniform circular motion. So circular motion of that stone around the circular periphery, which is right. So now in that case, what are the forces acting on a stone? So first very force is centrifugal force, which act away from the center. Is it right? And centripetal force, which act toward center, FCP. So centripetal force which act toward center. Now in both the cases, when these two forces acting on the stone, these two forces are equal because they are balancing each other to keep the stone on circular path. So when centripetal force and centrifugal force, two forces acting on a stone, they will balance each other so that this stone remain on a path with uniform motion. Is it right? So this is the case when a stone is in dynamic equilibrium, because there may be two forces applied on a stone, but they are balancing each other. They will cancel each other. So no net force applied on a stone. There may be a self weight of stone. But it is taken by the tension in the string. FCP can also take it. Is it right? Because we already see about uniform circular motion we are studying. In uniform circular motion, all these forces, there may be other forces applied, all these forces are balancing each other. Are you getting this? So now next case is conditions for equilibrium. So now if you want to keep the body in equilibrium, there are two conditions must be balanced, or two conditions must be satisfied by the body. So what are the two conditions? First condition is resultant of all the forces acting on body should be zero. Resultant of all the forces acting on body should be zero means summation of forces should be zero. That we have already taken. Let us say, take example again, book lying on table. So whatever the weight applying downward, normal reaction applying upward, and W is equal to normal reaction. This is what? Summation of forces will be zero. So you can say W minus N is equal to 0. Are you getting the equation? So when you satisfy this equation, W minus N will be 0, equal to 0. It means we are satisfying the first condition of equilibrium, that is summation of forces will be 0. And when this condition achieved by the body will be taken as a equilibrium condition. Body will be taken under equilibrium condition. So summation of forces, that may be horizontal forces, that may be vertical forces. All the horizontal and vertical forces, their summation should be 0, or you can say forces should be balanced. This is our first condition. And second condition, sum of the moment of all the forces about pivot should be 0. Sum of the moment should be 0. Now see students, very important case. Now if you say, take one example, there is a one box, and one force applies at the top of the box, F, other force applies at bottom, F. Now these two forces satisfying this first condition. Is it right? These two forces satisfying this condition means when I apply one force in top point, when I apply one force at bottom, but one is moving toward right, another moving toward left, both are of same magnitude. So you can say F minus F will be 0 here. So first condition already satisfied. But are the second condition can satisfy? Means what? If you are going to calculate their moment, are their moment will be balanced? Are their moment can be 0? No, it will not be 0 because they are forming couple. Is it right? We already see what is meant by condition of couple. So they are forming couple and their moment in that case will be, moment will be force into distance. Distance means distance between these two forces. So the moment that will not be 0 here. Moment that will not be 0 here. It means this block going to rotate. This block going to rotate. So it is not in equilibrium. It is not in equilibrium. Means which is the second case we are going to study? Which is the second case it is required for the equilibrium? That is, moment should be 0. There may be the forces will be 0, but their moments also 0 about a pivot. It means when a body satisfies these two conditions, body will completely in a state of rest or completely in a state of uniform motion, and that motion or that condition is what? Equilibrium. So these are the two conditions the body should satisfy. Now next important, principle of moment. Now what the principle of moment said? Principle of moment is nothing but the application of equilibrium. Principle of moment is nothing but application of equilibrium, in which we apply the equilibrium principle, equilibrium condition to the body, and to make the body remain in a state of rest or remain in a state of motion, remain in a condition of equilibrium. Now in that case, according to our principle, the sum of anti-clockwise moments is equal to sum of clockwise moment about pivot. Whenever the force is acting on a body, that may be not at single point, there may be at several points they are acting on a body. In that situation, sum of the anti-clockwise moments created by sum of the forces about pivot must be equal to sum of clockwise moment created by the forces about pivot. Now we are going to see this principle in detail in our applications. Now check first application, beam balance. Check first application, beam balance. So in a beam balance, what will happen? Take it again. We already studied this, but I am going to see this again because with some values we are putting this. Now let us say beam balance which is pivoted at middle. At one end, here is a weight W1 attached. At another end, here is a weight W2 attached. Okay, and this W1, let us say at distance L1, this W2, let us say at distance L2 from the pivot O. From the pivot O. So now check our principle of moment. Said that sum of anti-clockwise moment is equal to sum of clockwise moment. So in that case, who is creating anti-clockwise moment? Who is creating anti-clockwise moment? This W1. It means the moment of W1 will be force W1 multiplied by distance from pivot L1, which is equal to, who is creating clockwise moment, which is equal to clockwise moment. Who is creating clockwise moment? W2 creating clockwise moment, means moment of W2 will be force W2 multiplied by distance from pivot L2. This is the formula we got according to the principle of moment, and that formula we can use to find any unknown. That may be a length or that may be a weight. Getting this? Now check second example, that seesaw. Now everybody knows seesaw. Seesaw means it is again same, pivoted at middle. Let us say the force F1 applied here, another force F2 applied here. Okay, this F1 at distance L1 from the pivot, this F2 at distance L2 from the pivot. So who is creating anti-clockwise movement here? F1. So sum of anti-clockwise movement F1 into L1 will be equal to who is creating clockwise movement here? F2. So the clockwise movement F2 into L2. So this principle we can use to find any unknown parameter. Getting this? This is what principle of moment. Now check third case, lever. Everybody knows lever. Lever means what? Lever is any rod. You can say pivoted at any point. So take that pivoted point will be O here. So first force, let us say F1 applied here. So to balance that force, another force F2 should be applied downward here. Is it right? So from pivot, this distance L1 and this distance L2 for the application of force F2 and F1. So you can say who is creating anti-clockwise movement? F1. Their movement will be F1 into L1 is equal to who is creating anti-clockwise movement? Clockwise movement will be F2 into L2, and where these two moments will be equal, anti-clockwise and clockwise movement will be equal, that body will be in state of static condition, state of static equilibrium. Now check carefully that about the pivot, one of the force creating anti-clockwise moment and other force creating anti-clockwise moment. So these two moments should be equal. So initially this F1 force applies downward. So you have to decide that whether will be the direction of F2, and it is very easy to decide, because when F1 force applies downward means it is creating anti-clockwise moment. So to balance that anti-clockwise moment, this F2 should be applied downward at other end to create clockwise moment to balance that anti-clockwise moment. So these will be a balancing each other, and it will serve the purpose of equilibrium. Getting this? Okay, we will stop here now. Thank you everyone.